How does the Mitch Marner stalemate end?
Steve?
Happiness. Happiness, regardless, because I just want it to end, man. No, I think it's going to end with a 5-year contract. I think we're going to be relatively, we're going to begrudgingly like the number. I think it's going to be something like 10-6.
Ooh, at 5 years, so it ends at the same time as the Matthews extension.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a nightmare. So
It's a nightmare, but it also sounds like a tomorrow problem. That sounds like a 5 years from now problem.
I like how you started this with happiness, and then you were
For now.
progressively chipped it
Oh,
away.
I know.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
sorry.
sound so great.
No, it's bad, but then the happy part is Mitch Marner is a Leaf for the next half decade.
Okay.
So
You know what
I
I mean?
think, okay, so you would definitely save face if you're the Marner camp with that number, despite the fact that you're asking for the Austin Matthews 11-6, which is like, man, just do some research. That's just shouldn't happen. That's the nightmare of all nightmares, and it's not going to happen. What I think will happen, though, is 6 years at a more reasonable 10 per. And this gets done before training camp because, man, there's a couple of things they're trying to balance here. But I do think having these contracts not line up together, the Marner and the Matthews deal is important. And 10, I know some of the numbers being thrown around. You're like, well, 10, that's not enough to get. It should be enough. Like just over 9, like between 9 and 10 should be enough at 8 years. So really, I mean, if you just do a little thinking, 10 at 6, there's a very easy explanation to Mitch Marner how you won this negotiation, even though there's some people talking about 11 plus for this player. 10 over 6, both sides save face. You have enough cap space with the LTIR stuff you're doing. That's what the number should be, and it should happen before training camp starts.
I'm actually going the other way on this.
Oh, boy.
I think both sides can save some face. And I do think that a deal gets done sometime in the middle of training camp. But essentially, it really does feel like Mitch Marner's camp does not care about all the comparables. Everything that's been put out there about
Obviously
a
not.
winger making 11% of the cap, it doesn't equate to what they care about. What they care about is Austin Matthews. What does Austin Matthews make? We're the same as him. We are not about to be slighted, or at least perceive as though we are being slighted. This feels more and more like it's going to end up on a bridge deal. And I really do think that the possibility of both sides saving face in terms of Kyle Dubas getting him at a smaller number that allows them to be a little bit more flexible with the cap, potentially add something else around the edges. Who knows? Again, Jake Gardiner is still out there, and part of it is because I think he's not getting what he wants. The other part is I have to think because the guy loves Toronto that he wants to see how this is potentially going to play out too, or that there's probably some people talking to him saying, man, we'd still love to make this fit. If in case you haven't noticed, the Leafs' bottom pairing right now without Travis Dermott looks dreadful.
It's tough.
Yeah, and normally I don't think guys like taking those flyer deals to improve their value, but if there is really nothing out there for Jake Gardiner and they can come to some type of bridge deal where all of a sudden they have more money than they thought they were going to, then maybe they do find a way to make that work with Jake. The more and more I look at this and how dug in both sides are, one, that Dubas just cannot afford to lose another negotiation. Two, they cannot afford to have it go in the season, even though they have prepared themselves for that financially with the Clarkson move. And three, how Marner's camp feels about this. It just all feels like, hey, let's just kick this thing down the road. Obviously, we are very much apart at this point in terms of what the value should be and what we're looking for. Let's see what happens 3 years from now, and then let's revisit it knowing that both sides want you here long term.
What's the number in that case? Like, are we talking about
Honestly,
a 3-year deal?
Here's the thing. Bridge deal, 3 years. I would think that would still come in at something where people are going to look at it and say, oh my God, how is it that high?
Yeah.
I would think that it's going to be somewhere between 8 and 9.
Oh,
That's nuts. It's not.
that is crazy. That's what he should be getting. Like 9 is around the area that he should be getting over 8. Buying out UFA years.
The big barricade here is, well, we're just ignoring comparables. So you're ignoring reason.
But
Right.
they're not ignoring comparables. It's just that they're ignoring historical ones that they would like them. It's the two different sides saying, who are you comparing yourself to? Marner's camp is, I had more points than Matthews last year. I was on the top line. I play on the penalty kill. I'm a 200-foot player. I've been healthier. I just allowed John Tavares to be a part of Tavares scoring 40 points. And I'm a local kid who loves to be here. Why am I so different than Austin Matthews? Why should I take less than him? But hockey is becoming more and more positionless, even if a center does mean more. I understand his argument for it. It's just that, to me, yeah, position still does matter. goals are still more
Goals matter.
valuable.
Yep.
And you know what? You do end up paying the stud 6'4" centerman that can score 40 goals more
Right.
than you pay the winger who's a setup man.
Well, this insane RFA class, too, is throwing a wrench into everything. That the only guy signed is Sebastian Aho,
Yep.
who was signed to an offer sheet.